Hey guys, my name's Mary. Just wanted to talk to you for a couple minutes about a gun class I went to today. About 30 or 40 years ago, a long time ago, I had a lot of interest in becoming proficient with a handgun. I had always thought, there are times when, especially if you're a woman, you're terrified to be in a parking lot by yourself, or any number of things, any number of situations where an attacker or an abuser could get you and do you harm. And in order to defend myself, I thought, well, if I could become proficient with a handgun, that's one way to do it. I put it off because the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, what if one of my 5 children gets a hold of it and shoots somebody or themselves or whatever? And then I thought later on, after they grew up and had kids, what if one of my grandchildren gets it? So needless to say, I went decades and decades without trying to pursue that. And there have been several times when I wish I had, because I felt threatened and I was afraid. I was scared. And all the things that are in the news where you see, all of these people that, man, if there had just been somebody there that knew what they were doing, some lives could have been spared. So I got my interest going back, a few years ago, and I thought, I told my husband, it's time for me to buy a gun. So I bought a gun. Unfortunately, it was the wrong kind because I couldn't even load the magazine. I mean, I was like, and it wasn't working, and I couldn't cock it. And I thought, am I that weak? Am I not going to be able to do this? So I kind of was afraid, and I thought, boy, this is scary. I don't think I can do this. I just don't. And then Marvin says, well, why don't you go take a class? So I did. I paid a chunk of change. I spent a little over 2 hours going through a class. And to be quite honest with you, when I left, I didn't really feel any more confident than when I walked through the door the first time. I didn't learn anything. I still couldn't load it. I still didn't know the fundamentals. And it's just like anything else in your life. You have to learn how to walk before you can learn how to run. So having a deep respect for a gun and knowing what it can do, there was no way that I was going to try that again, unless I could figure out a way to pursue this and become very proficient at it. I knew I had a good aim. I went out and had my husband load it for me, cock it for me. I knew I could do that. I knew that I had, some of the characteristics of someone who could become proficient. But you have to be able to do it all, and that just wasn't working out for me. So I put it on the back burner again. Well, I was introduced through my son-in-law to Highlander Defense Consultants. And he says, you really need to take this class. You really need to take this class. Come on, you need to take this class. So I told him, he knew the problems I was having with my gun. So he took my gun. He was trying to work on it, see if he could make it, a little bit easier, a little looser for me. He said, no, it's not, loosening up that much. And so the whole way I went to this class today, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to pay the money. I'm just going to go to this class because I really want this that bad. Went to the class, really feeling like I could, but afraid that it was going to turn out the same way that I could not. Well, it turns out that Brian Baxter, the owner and the trainer, who has so many credentials, I can't even go into them right now. I mean, I could fill my whole body with credentials, okay, that this man has. And he had another gun there, a different one. I could load it. I could load it. I could cock it. I started feeling a little bit better because he let me use it. We had a test in the beginning, and I didn't do great, but I didn't suck. So, and then went through the course. His teaching methods, impeccable. If you can teach an old lady, an old dog new tricks, and have her feel confident and have her feel like she's capable and she can defend herself, her family, her children, her friends. As a matter of fact, at the end of the course today, he told me, I think you can go pass your carry, your carry license test easy. He said, you're good. You can do this. The test that we took at the end was the same one we took in the beginning. Compared the two, and just in his class for like 3 hours, about 3.5 hours, I cut my time down by 2/3, and my proficiency was dead on. So I highly, highly recommend that if anyone has any desire to learn how to handle yourself with a firearm, learn the fundamentals, acquire a deep respect not only for the gun but for your ability, I highly recommend Highlander Defense Consultants. Please give them a chance. You will not be sorry. They will not let you down. Thank you.